our event, which is called the UX Research Kickoff Session. So basically, if you're here, you want to know a little bit more about how to develop a UX research plan, or perhaps you have interest in developing these skills and seeing what it's like to be a UX researcher, or perhaps what it's like for other UX designers to approach UX research. So to just point out, this is a little slide here for an icebreaker. You don't have to worry about filling this out now, but in your own spare time, we have a little prompt question here that just is about your passions. So in the meantime, get familiar with Miro, take a sticky note, write about what your passions are, maybe even drop a link to your portfolio if you happen to be passionate about UX design. We would like to see your work. And it's another way for us to get to know you as an audience, as well as for you guys to communicate with each other and to find something in common. But as I'm moving along, just stay with me and listen as Claire and I are going to be explaining our roles at the Collective Studio and also to explain what the Collective Studio is all about. So basically, the Collective Studio is a community that focuses on user experience education through collaborative design sprints, which are these kind of like remote workshops that we create. They're about like 3 weeks long, where we go through the entire process from identifying the user, doing a bit of user research, we do user journey maps, we create prototypes, and this kind of helps us to strategically look at different problems and different use cases for users, and also to develop products that are also useful. And if you've never been part of a sprint, this is an interesting opportunity because we're kind of one of the only communities out there that kind of operates this frequently. This is basically what our whole community is about. We're all about working together. We're all about working collaboratively. We have over about 1,300 members. We range from all different backgrounds. Some of us are professional UX designers. Some of us are just getting into UX design just like you. And sort of similar to like what IterateUX is all about, we're all about like building on professional skills and just helping people to be a success in their careers. So if you're really interested in joining our server, we have a link down here. Whenever you get time, just check us out. We also have some interesting video content here, some kind of evidence that we've done with professional UX designers, where we've taught skills in Figma. We also have recorded events on our YouTube channel. So if you are very interested in what our experience is like, what these events are like, you can follow us on YouTube. Anywho, well, I'm just going to let you guys finish what you're doing here, but in the meantime, I'm just going to move along, just as long as we're listening. And as soon as I finish introducing myself and Claire, then we're going to need your attention back again. Okay. So on this slide here, we're just going to do just a quick intro. As for Padma, I believe you've already done an introduction to IterateUX, but do you want to have a few words about yourself professionally?
Yep, definitely.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Sure. Thanks for the opportunity. Actually, I missed out that part. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, yep, I'm the co-founder of this community, IterateUX community. So we have built this community to have people to engage and help other UX designer, as we have learned in our past, as we have learned in our career as well. So as per my real role, I'm the UX architect in one of the IT company and working over there on different clients like Verizon and those kind of stuff. So yep, this is a quick introduction about me. Thanks, Melanie.
Yeah, no problem. Mm-hmm. And CJ, do you want to say a few words about yourself?
Yeah, thank you for all of you come like in this time with us. My name is CJ. I'm outreach coordinator in IterateUX. Super excited because my current job is to do some digital marketing stuff and also UX design stuff in this company. And all I want to say is I'm really excited to land a professional job in UX sooner or later. So I'm here to learn with you all together, and stay tuned with our new podcast soon. Thank you.
Awesome. And Alice, would you like to introduce yourself briefly?
Yep. Hey everyone, my name's Alice. I am very excited to be here. I am a UX designer at City, and I'm just happy that Melanie and Claire, they are hosting this event because empathy is important in UX, but curiosity is more important because we will need to be able to identify what user really wants. So yeah, let's see how the event is going to be. I believe it's going to be amazing. So I will hand it off to Claire and Melanie.
And a word from Claire, who is also the co-founder.
Hey everyone, my name is Claire. So as Melanie said, I'm co-founder of the Collective Studio. Very excited to be here to walk you guys through this interactive workshop. One thing that I learned through learning UX design in my career journey is that you shouldn't do this by yourself, and you should also be collaborative with other designers, developers, stakeholders in the process to get an idea and get an understanding of how it would be like in the real world. So very excited to guide everyone here. And I'm a career switcher from a non-design background. So I'm very happy and excited to guide anyone who's trying to career switch as well in the process. So nice meeting everyone.
Yeah. And for me, my name is Melanie, aka Charlotte. Basically, I've been a graphic designer for about 7 years, mostly freelance. So I've had both experience with working in studios as well as just working freelance for startups and also some bigger brands such as Whirlpool and Spin Master. In my experience though, ever since the pandemic, a lot of things have changed and I realized UX is the future. So I started the Collective Studio based on this idea that like I'm starting to see a lot of people changing their jobs or even losing their jobs because of the pandemic and they're switching to UX. So I kind of wanted to be part of this process of like, well, let's help people to get the jobs they need. And that's why I created this community so that we can all teach each other and influence each other to be our best. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's who we are. And we're going to be guiding you through this presentation / practical session. So if I could get your attention back, we're going to go on to an intro to the topic. So if you could follow my cursor here, I'm just waiting for everyone to finish the icebreaker so that we can move on. Okay. So are we here? Do you want to give me like a thumbs up to say that we're ready? Or how's the emojis work on Zoom? I'm such a noob.
Yeah, we have the emojis.
There we go. Thumbs up. Cool.
Perfect.
Alrighty. So basically, for this UX research kickoff session, it's going to be in development of one of our design sprints, which is happening early in April. So you guys got the link to that Eventbrite in the chat, and we've also mentioned it in the intro. Basically, before Claire and I introduce our How Might We statement, we've decided to create this event, a very special event for you guys to help us come up with some valuable user data and research that will help us to launch this design sprint. Okay, so the topic that we're going to be focused on when it comes to understanding the user, the context of this particular product that we could build for them will be based around NFTs. And the reason why we chose NFTs is because a lot of people are very curious about NFTs. They've heard things about it. It's very exciting, but it's scary. It's a very dangerous area where it's new cryptocurrency. It's very controversial, but it seems like there's a lot of hope and there's a lot of promise in terms of financial gain. So if any of you have heard of NFTs, I would like to ask the audience first of all, if anyone's ever heard of it or whether they have some familiarity with it. If you could give me, oh wait, the chat is open here. Let's see. If you want to send a message, okay, just a tiny bit. I want to know from the audience what they know about it, what they think is interesting about it. You've heard about it, but you've not made one. Okay. You don't know anything about NFTs. I feel you. I understand you. You've heard of DAO. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so it's what I expect. It's sort of like a vague understanding that most people have. So basically, NFT stands for non-fungible token, and it sounds like a lot of gobbledygook, but basically, a non-fungible token is it's sort of like a transaction that's considered unique in and of itself. So think of it like purchasing a trading card where the transaction itself, first of all, very unique because it's done on the blockchain, and the process itself makes it official that if you're purchasing an NFT, no one can intervene in this process. It cannot be it cannot be copied. You cannot do this in any other way. It's authentic. The artwork that's being purchased itself cannot be copied or duplicated. And to put this in more understandable terms that we understand is, imagine buying a trading card like a rare Pokemon card. You only have one of it, one of a kind. You bought it with currency, but you can't trade it for anything else. Okay, so that's the reason why NFTs are a little bit special and a little bit unique. It is like buying an original piece of art. It is one of a kind. You can't make another version of it because it just would not be the same. So the idea of it is pretty much the same here with NFTs, which is that you're buying digital art through digital currency. It is unique, and every time that you purchase into it, it increases in value. So this is great for artists because if they want to create scarcity, it's sort of like releasing, for example, a very expensive or luxurious pair of shoes that everyone wants. The more that people want this, the more that people buy into this, the value of your artwork increases, right? So there's more gains for it for an artist that's trying to make a name for themselves. So this is kind of new. This is something that not a lot of people are aware of. There are some kind of scams that do exist that kind of prevents people from being successful with it. But you know what? This is a worthy challenge, and I think UX designers can have a solution for this where we can kind of make NFT selling and also purchasing a bit safer, or perhaps even more fun, or maybe more understandable for the general audience. So as for that, do we have any questions about this topic before we move forward? And I suppose if you have a question, you could just either shout out or you could leave a chat message. Okay, none so far? Okay. On your own time, we also have a link here to a YouTube video from the Wall Street Journal. If you're ever interested to learn about this a little bit more, to get a whole crash course on what NFTs are, including some very good examples, definitely check out that link. For now, we're just going to move on to our next section, which is basically going to be a breakout session where we're going to collect and gather some of our assumptions. So for some of you that are very new to this, this might seem a little bit daunting, but it will make more sense as we go through it. So between me and Claire, we're going to be leading these breakout groups, and they're going to be timed. So we're going to spend 30 minutes trying to define the problem that users may experience when it comes to NFTs. So if you don't know a lot about NFTs, it's okay. We could try to imagine from similar situations where people are trying to make a purchase online, or maybe even when it comes to Bitcoin. If you have experience using a Bitcoin platform, you could try to understand like what this scenario might be like for the user. And for those of you that have more experience, then you could also share your insights on what you think the problem might be, and we can go through it together as a team and be able to discuss our points, as well as come together with a conclusion through dot voting on what we think the most compelling idea is. So basically, the what do you call it? Like the golden circle rule. This is something that I learned from Simon Sinek, if everyone's ever heard of him. But the question of starting with why is very important, and trying to align as a team as to what the user is going through, why they're going through it, as well as like what it is that they need from these experiences. It helps us to understand and empathize with the user in a very intimate way. Through user research, though, we'll actually get closer to that. But for now, we need to start off with assumptions, because just like with any product that we are trying to develop, we might have to consider, first of all, that we don't know very much about the user. Even if we're trying to understand them, we need to start off with some base assumption to test so that we can start to dive deeper and iterate this process until we actually get very intimately close with the user and know exactly what their problem is. So for the sake of starting this, this breakout session, I will leave it to, I think, CJ or Alice to create the breakout rooms. We're going to go through 2 of these exercises. There's one here for the define the problem, and the next one, which is to create the research plan. And then after that, we'll come back together for a break. Is that understood by everyone so far?
And I have created the breakout rooms in 2 rooms. So one will be with Melanie and one will be with Clara. Okay, so should we join the breakout room so that I can open it for everyone?
Yeah.
Are we good? Perfect. So I'll open the breakout rooms. You guys can just join the breakout rooms.
Okay, so is everyone here, Padma? Or are we still?
Okay. So recording is there, Melanie? Where is she? Melanie, there are still 16 people who will be joining this room. And let's wait for Melanie to join the group. Let me just go back and check quickly.
Zero timer. It's going to be shared between me and everyone else, right?
Right.
Melanie, you need to jump in the room 1. So people are waiting for you. Yep.
Okay,
you
gotcha.
need to jump in the room 1. Khadija, you can see room for you as well. Kami for you as well. You guys need to join your room.
All right.
Okay, I see room 1. Got it.
Thank
Thank you very much.
Yeah, people are waiting for you out there. So yeah. Kami, you also need to join the session in the room 1. If you have any issues, let me know. Or you can just join the like whichever room you have. Okay. Let me just join.
Do you know if this session is being recorded? Yes, that means we are.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Alrighty. So I think we need you to start the timer. The thing is, I want to make sure that Claire is also on board as well. Are one of you able to check in with her to see if she's ready to go so that we can start the timer? Because I believe the Miro timer is shared, like everyone will be able to see it.
So it is common one, so everyone can see that.
Yeah, of course. But I also want to start, but I also don't want to interrupt whatever she might be doing.
Mhm. Should I go there and check? But this recording will stop. So maybe we can just start.
Yeah, okay. So let me see if I can get the timer started. Or actually, if Padma, if you're able to get the timer started for 30 minutes, that would be great, because it seems like I'm not able to start it. Yeah.
Okay. So timer to how much time you
Yes,
want to say?
please.
30 minutes? Okay, started.
Okay, great. Alrighty. So we're going to start off by discussing who we might think this issues with using NFTs might affect, like in terms of the user. So when it comes to NFTs, it's mostly artists, mostly entertainers, or other types of people who might be using this particular type of technology. But could we also expand on who else might be using it, whether it's a career, profession, or what we think the user might be? So I'm going to give you 2 minutes to think this through and to just write on the sticky note here. You could choose any color that you like, either red or pink, and just come up with your first impressions of who you think NFTs is affecting, like who is using it. I see a sticky note here that says starving artists like me who don't make money. That's funny. I'm also gonna move some of these stickies closer by. I know there's not a lot of space, but I'll try my best. So we have investors, collectors, also Padma. Are we also keeping time for some of these mini activities? So 2 minutes in between, we're just gonna brainstorm. So I just want to know how much time in between. Okay. So I heard a bell. So is that the 2 minute?
I think that's the 2-minute thing.
Okay, great. Thank you. Just let me know so that I know.
Okay.
Thank you. So, okay, so we can stop here. So we've got plenty of sticky notes here, a lot of them. I am just gonna make some of these sticky notes a little bit smaller so that we could fit them all in. Okay. And then let's also move on to the next section here, which is what is the problem? Like, what is it that users might be experiencing that might be an issue? Like, it's going to be an assumption. So, of course, it could be without kind of being perfect. We're just brainstorming. So, let's just think about what the issues might be for this particular user in this situation. And then 2 minutes. And how are we for time?
40 seconds.
Okay. This is the best way to brainstorm.
Yeah, and people are
I
very
mean,
engaged
it's
with,
just, yeah, it's a tidal
yeah,
wave of ideas.
yeah.
Mhm.
And it is a like perfect exercise for everyone to have, like with everyone, like there are multiple people,
And
so
interact.
whatever ideas they have.
Countdown, 8 seconds now.
Okay. I'm just gonna move some of these stickies away so that it doesn't overlap. If you want to change the color of your sticky, that's also fine as well. Just so that,
We have the times.
yeah.
up.
Okay, all right. So stop. They're all amazing suggestions. They're all great, all awesome. This is cool. I'm gonna bring some of these
I like
in
how
and make
it's
it.
super full now.
Yeah, it is. We
So-
will go around and discuss some of these sticky notes as we go along. So we're just gonna go on to the next section. And again, we're gonna go through this process again. So we're gonna be thinking about when and where this experience might be happening or occurring for the user, especially when they're using a NFT marketplace and they're experiencing some kind of problem. Where is this happening? Is it happening in the middle of their journey, at the beginning, at the end? We need to describe where that's happening. And in your own words, in 2 minutes, let's just express that.
One minute is done.
Okay, 1 more minute left.
1 more minute left. Thirty seconds left. Oh, we are done with 2 minutes.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
great. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll just move some of these sticky notes closer into the center so that it doesn't overlap too much. Okay, so we're gonna move on to the next section. So this is the why. This is really just down to the heart of why it is that people are motivated to do anything. So when we're thinking about the user, why is it that utilizing NFTs or even using a platform, why does this matter to them? So we might want to think about emotional reasons, might want to think about reasons for belonging. So for 2 minutes, let's think about why we might think users are compelled or repelled by NFTs.
So, Melanie, we have new participant in this room. So if you can just introduce something about the exercise which we are doing, so we will be aware of it.
Yeah, sure. So right now we are brainstorming some of our assumptions and trying to narrow down what a problem a user might experience when navigating NFTs. So basically, we've gone through every step, asking questions like, who is this problem affecting? What is the problem specifically? When and where the problem is happening? And why does it matter to the user to have this problem solved? So we're gonna go through all of our brainstorm sticky notes in a moment, but right now we're kind of like almost at the end of the 2-minute point. So what we're gonna do is discuss as a group some of the sticky notes, and then we're going to vote for the most compelling sticky note for each section. Is that understood?
Yep. Perfect.
Okay, cool. Alrighty. So are we almost up to 2 minutes?
Yes.
Yeah, we are almost.
So are we done? Are we almost?
I think
finished?
we're good to move on to the next step.
Okay, great, thank you. All right, so for this first section here, we're just gonna take up some of these sticky notes. I'm just gonna flip through some of them, and if I read a sticky note and I ask for more insight, whoever has made the sticky note, they could feel free to use their mic. I don't know if anyone has the mic option available, but if not, you could always use the chat to kind of expand on your answer. Is that understood? Okay, cool. So basically, the main users who are going to be using this product or this idea or whatever platform that we decide to invent here. So we have curators, investors, collectors. So I'm going to put curators and collectors into one group. I'm just going to consolidate some of our sticky notes because they're kind of similar ideas. So we have investors here. We have designers, freelancers, photographers. Okay, investors are also repeats. I'm going to put it here. Traders. Who made this sticky note?
I did.
Okay. Did you mean traders as in investors, or did you have something else in mind?
like the ETH traders, like they trade a currency by trading this art.
Okay, gotcha. So that's in a category, maybe of its own. So we have freelancers, artists, designers, anime lovers, of course. Who doesn't love anime? Selfie lovers, interesting. Artists. So I'm gonna put them all in the group of designers, photographers, and freelancers. I think it makes sense to maybe include them as one group just because they are creative professions. We could also think about separating them in case this is a case where we might want to create a platform that's completely different. Oh yeah, thank you for correcting that, creators. Wow, I mistaken that as like curators, but thank you for moving that. Starving artists, like don't make too much money but love art, could be hobbyists, right? Art critics, I think that would go into the same group as curators. Galleries, museums, brand and marketers, definitely, they're going to utilize this platform. So I'm going to try to make it simpler for us to kind of make sort of like a vote. So when it comes to creators, whoever made the sticky note, do you want to shout out? Do you want to say hello for a second? Or if they're not here, I'm just assuming when this person said creators, I would assume YouTube influencer, Instagram influencer, or perhaps even an artist. If that's like a general term to describe artists, then I'm just going to keep them in a group here. If I'm wrong, then feel free to correct me. Art and design schools, definitely. Okay, so I'm going to put starving artists here because I think this is all part of the same kind of team. So I guess when it comes to voting, let's think about it like this. If you guys are familiar with Miro, we could do this one or two ways. We could go here and create a shape. And we could create a shape by dragging this tool here by clicking on the shape tool. And we can actually make a dot. And that way we could just quickly vote for something that we like or a group of sticky notes that we like. And that way we can indicate that we voted for an idea that we think is the most compelling. Either that, or you could choose an emoji, depending on what's easier for you. But I'm just going to create this dot here so that everyone has access to it. You can make a copy of it. It seems like everyone has got the hang of this already, which is great. And all I really need you to do is make one vote for a grouping of sticky notes that you think is the most compelling in terms of perhaps wide user base, perhaps it's something that is common. So I will let everyone have their vote. And actually, Padma or CJ, do you know how many people are in this room? Or there's 15?
13. 12.
Yeah. Okay, 12, okay.
In this one, except for of us, that's 12.
Okay. So we're looking for like 12 votes then. Okay, got it. Thank you.
No problem.
And we have 13 minutes for this activity, entire activity.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like someone's sticky note got lost. It's okay, I can help you out here. So, interesting thing, if we have this emoji here, I'm gonna help you to bring it back up. Just click on the emoji and then you could select it on, yeah.
Melanie, there is one question for you in the chat. If you can just check once.
Sure, no problem. Yeah, so I don't know who made that sticky note, but when it comes to anime lovers, I assume people who are a fan of anime who want to purchase memes, perhaps. If the person who authored the sticky note can provide an explanation, we'll have an understanding of what they mean.
I think I create that one. So
oh, you, okay.
So I think I'm thinking more like the collectors. So whoever wanted to collect those animes. So I would say collectors here, more than a creator, rather than a creator. Yeah.
Okay, so an anime lover, fan, so someone who wants to just buy art, fan art, and stuff like that. Okay. So we could just say anime fan or anime. Well, you could put it in for the collectors. Yeah, I suppose it fits there. I would look at this a bit differently because the job of an art curator and an art collector, it's very different because it is a huge investment. And a lot of these people who are curators tend to work at galleries and they kind of have like built up an education and a background in curation. So I would see that as being different. I would still look at anime lovers as being like, this is a hobbyist group. So I still think it would belong in its own category. Yeah, sorry.
I would put, I did the collectors one, and I'm thinking about like indie collectors that would just collect art in general. Like myself, who just wants to buy an artwork, but I'm not necessarily a business. So I feel like anime lovers and collectors would go together, but maybe not with curators and museums where it's more of a professional class.
Yeah, exactly. Got it. That makes sense. Thank you. So Aurora, that's your name? Okay. So there was 2 dot votes for the grouping of curators and art critics.
Those were for,
I don't know who.
Those were both on collectors, not on the curators.
Okay. Just making sure. Thank you. Whoops, I need to do that. Cool. And then this dot here, it was also on anime lovers, right? Okay. Well, if we're voting for the same kind of group, it will kind of go for the same grouping of sticky notes. I'm trying to make it less confusing so that we can come to a consensus. So what time do we have right now?
In total, that's 10 minutes.
10 minutes. Okay, got it. So we got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So we're missing 1 more vote, if I'm not mistaken, unless it's missing. Oh, I think one person said that they were on the phone, so they couldn't vote. Could they maybe announce in the chat which one they want to vote for so that we can help them out?
So Mariam.
Mariam.
If you want, you can put in a chat. Let us know.
Or maybe you can just unmute and just.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if Mariam is here, but we'll have to continue. Sorry, but maybe the next one she or he can vote. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so artists. Obviously, artist is the winner. So whether it's starving artists, freelancers, I think the general consensus is artists or creators. So I'm just going to post this sticky note up here as this is the winner, artist or, creators of some type. And then for the next group, we're going to do the same thing. So I'm just going to look at some of these sticky notes. I might call on you for clarification. This one's a question. Is there any requirements for uploading an NFT product? Oh, geez, I'm thinking there is. You might need a Ethereum wallet. The sticky note here says, as a buyer collector, how do I resell the work? These are all questions that the user would ask. So these are all very valid questions, but how to categorize it into what is the problem? It could be a issue of clarity or understanding, like sticky notes that says, how does it work? I think I see a theme here, which is what a lot of us are experiencing, is that we don't know exactly how NFTs work. And for someone who's getting into this, this could also be a real experience. So I think I'm going to put some of these questions in a pile here because it seems to be a theme of how it is that this platform works. So this might be something that the user might also experience too. How do I sell my first NFT? So this could be the experience of selling your first piece of artwork to a customer. As an art dealer, galleryist, how do I sell this work? So again, this is the same kind of theme. How do I sell? It says how to make money with this art. I think this is also a similar theme. How to determine the value of an NFT product. Okay. This is also to do with how it works as well, how Ethereum works as a currency, how to purchase and use crypto used to mine NFTs. This is also a value. This is also to do with the value of the currency. So let's maybe put this here as like a representative group. As an eco-conscious person, how do I justify blockchain art? This is also interesting because this is also an issue with NFTs and also with you know, just mining for Bitcoins and digital currency itself, which is, it's not very eco-friendly. There are eco-friendly alternatives, but that's something that we could also discuss in our design sprint. As an artist, how do I stand out from the noise? Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, yeah, there's a lot of garbage art on NFTs. I don't mean to say that like as to be rude, but it's like there's a lot of stuff that's repetitive. There's a lot of memes that are kind of low value, but they seem to sell. So I think people who want to stand out and create something authentic, it would be a very important distinguishing feature for them to stand out. As a collector, how do I show off my purchase? I've seen questions like this before, and this is also interesting. So this is to do with maybe, this is all to do with like questions of how to make this platform more understandable. Can I trade my NFTs? Can you trade your NFTs? I think this is also a commerce kind of question, so I'm going to put it here. Overrated. Who made this sticky note?
It's me again.
You? Why did you say overrated?
Yeah, like some, come on, like I that's not art. That's
Yes.
happiness.
Yeah, some of it sounds repetitive, and there's also a side of it which is this looks like a gimmick, right?
Yeah.
This could be touching other issues, but let's put this in its own category for now. Looking for other problems that the user is experiencing. They might be struggling with promoting their artwork. Okay. How to make the artwork more valuable. So this is a value question. This is sort of to do with how to make money from art, I think. It belongs in the same kind of category. Okay, we got 3 minutes and 50 seconds left. Okay, so we got to get through some of these very quickly. How do investors know what to purchase? This is a value question. I think it's sort of in this category. Not enough knowledge. I like this. I like this one, straight to the point, because this is pretty much summarizes a bunch of these groups. But I think it's still very valid and important to actually discover. How do buyers find art that they're interested in? Where can we put this? I'm not sure yet, so I'm going to put this down here. Not sure which website to learn more about NFTs. This is also related with lack of knowledge. How do buyers know what is a good art investment? This is also a value question, so I'm going to put it here. Understanding the technology behind NFTs, for example, connecting a wallet or choosing the correct blockchain. This is also value. This is also something to do with the product and the service. It could also belong in this category of not enough knowledge. So this is something that we could definitely expand on. Is there a market future for NFT? Again, I feel as though a lot of this is kind of stemming towards not enough knowledge, but they're all different groups. Feeling intimidating when it comes to learn to new technology. This is also part of that same group. But thinking about future of NFTs, who made this sticky note?
I guess we are done with 30 minutes and
Okay.
started again. So let me just stop the timer.
Okay. Yeah, sorry about that. We're going a bit over time, but let's just do this very quickly. So basically, let's do what we did again. So let's try to vote very quickly for a compelling group of sticky notes that we feel is very representative of what the problem is that users are experiencing. So I tried to make these groups close together. I'm sorry if I could not group everything, but we don't have a lot of time.
So, Melanie, we will be moving to the main room now after this, or we will be staying out here itself?
No, there's another activity after this, which is another 30 minutes. And then after that, it will be a break.
Okay, so we will be here itself, right?
Yeah, we'll be in the same breakout room for the next activity.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're still missing some votes because I think we have about like 13 people, but I think one person or a couple of people can't participate. If you're not able to find these dots, I could create some for you. Okay, so we only have like 8 votes here. I'm not sure who hasn't voted yet, but because we're kind of running out of time, I'm just gonna have to pick just one that has the most votes. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 here, 1, 2, 3. So it's gonna be a value question. So it's gonna be, let's try to consolidate a sticky note here and see if we can summarize this in general. How to make my work valuable. Oh, sorry about that, Eunice. Yeah, it was listed as a 1-hour event. Sorry about that. But thank you for coming. I appreciate it so much. But don't forget to check out the link at the very bottom of this document. You could actually download some assets and also give us some feedback. So if you have a moment to do that, That'd be great. Thank you very much. Okay, so on to the next section, when and where. I'm gonna try my best to go through a bunch of these sticky notes. I'm gonna take away things that I think are a little bit off topic, just so that we have some clarity. When and where this is happening, at home, on a desktop, of course, it could be a desktop browser that this person could be experiencing this on. When people want to submit their own NFT, it could be when they're ready to make that decision themselves, when deciding what NFT art to create. They could be in the process of thinking of creating content, mobile device, and they want to check out the value of their NFT over time. Okay, so this is a mobile issue. Some NFTs are made in a way that the artist doesn't get profit. That feels a little bit off topic, but I'm gonna move that away for now. When they're critiquing the aesthetic value of the work, okay, that could be done as like a personal preference. Scam website. It could be a scam, that definitely can happen. When it is time to collect the wallet, when it's time to secure a wallet, this is to do with the payment aspect of it. Reading some news about NFT, but having no clue what it is. Definitely. When strategizing the aesthetic of your work, that could be part of determining the aesthetic value of it. We'll put this in a group. When you purchase your first NFT and you want to know if it's a good investment while you're on the go, likely on a mobile device. So this is also a mobile issue or a mobile thing experience. So I'm going to put this together because they're kind of similar when deciding what art to create. Okay, well, maybe this could also be part of the same group when they're critiquing, when they're strategizing, this could all be part of the same group. Purchasing Ether to mint first NFT, I'm going to put that in its own area for now. Purchasing an NFT created by another artist. Okay. When they want to resell something that they bought. Okay. Uploading art to the platform. I'm just going to put it in this section here. Minting, put this together. And what's this? When they want to show off their collection in real life, but at home. When they want to sell or promote this work in a gallery or museum setting. Okay, so I'm going to keep these as separate. These are separate categories. This is separate as well. So is this, but these two are together. And very quickly, let's just try to vote for what we think is the most compelling answer. And I know some of us have left, so now we have about like 9 or 8 participants left. So we'll try our best to get through this, and then we'll move through the next section, which hopefully won't take too long. Mm-hmm.
So the next one, which we can do it in 20 minutes or something that way?
Yeah, we could do it in 20 minutes or maybe even less because we have fewer people. Yeah.
Yep. Let me know once you're done. Maybe I can start the timer.
Okay. Okie dokie. So have we all made our votes? Oh, it looks like Beatrix has to leave too. Thank you, Beatrix. Have a good night. And I think Gohan had to go as well.
Yeah.
It's okay.
That's okay. They can check the micro board later on also.
Yes, of course. 1, 2, 3. We have 1. And I'm not sure, but did someone vote for this sticky note here for who is buying?
I think that was last time.
Okay. All right, so I'll ignore that. Okay, so the most compelling sticky note that won was basically when it's time to secure a wallet or when it's time to collect the wallet. So it's in this part of the process that we think that maybe users are maybe having a difficult time, I guess, in their journey. Or if I could try to articulate this clearly, is the person who made this sticky note still here?
Hi, Melanie.
Hello.
I did this.
Okay. Do you want to explain your sticky note a little bit more so that we could just understand?
Yeah, sure. I think the main problem in this part is because when you are in this world of the NFTs and blockchain, you want to enter in this world, in this technology, right? But because it's hard for people to understand this, and when you heard you need to download a wallet or you need to connect a wallet, you don't know where you need where you can find information about this, and it's hard because I have some experience in with Bitcoin and blockchain since 2014, and I think it's really hard for people. For example, I have a friend who is an artist, and I told him about this NFT world, NFT blockchains, and all about this new technology. But I told him about you need to download a wallet and many other things like secure a wallet and other things. But this guy don't understand why I need a wallet. I just want to sell my art. And I think the main problem is because he don't know how connect a wallet or how choose the right blockchain, because he thinks it's just a simple step, and it's not there. I think this is the main problem. Sorry for my bad English.
No, it's okay. That was perfect. No, that's great. No, it's a valuable insight. Thank you for sharing that. But yeah, this is also part of the user experience. So it's like we cannot, underestimate each step. So when it comes to making a decision on when to connect the wallet, choosing the type of currency kind of matters, and how you're going to create value and how you're also going to benefit from this exchange. Is that correct? Or am I understanding you properly?
Yeah, totally agree.
Okay.
Totally.
Okay, cool. Alrighty, so we'll leave that there. And very quickly, sorry for taking up so much time. I'm going to look through all these sticky notes and consolidate any similar ideas. So obviously, investment, financial gains are together. Uniqueness, being different, is very important to people. Finding new ways to invest is also part of financial gains. Because they want to be part of this technology. It's different, it's novel. I could put it in its own category for now. Owning art makes me happy. Okay, could make the user happy as well. Making profits from interesting NFTs, you could put that in financial gains. Profits goes in there. Earn more money can go in there, thank you. Talking about critiquing art gives us context about artistic value and aesthetic experiences. It's also a reason why people engage in art and they buy it and they talk about it. And of course, value is created when we perceive things as value. It doesn't come with that kind of value. All right, crazy over time. So out of inquisitiveness, keeping up with tech trends, let's just put a part here. Users don't want to lose too much. money when investing. Sure, we'll put that in the same category. Bring satisfaction, I'll put it in the same category as happiness. Great. All right, so let's very quickly vote again. I'm just going to copy some dots and put it in the corner here so it's a little bit easier for you to grab. Okay. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do we have any more people that are lingering? Nope. 5. That's okay. So it's a new way to invest. It's another way to gain profits. So let me just copy this sticky note here and just make it about making profits. All right. So that took us a long time, but it's okay. I appreciate everyone's effort and I appreciate your insights as well. I'm just going to copy these sticky notes and bring it down to our next section here, which is I'm just going to bring these sticky notes together so that we can form a rough draft how might we statement. So this is something that we don't necessarily need to articulate in a full sentence right now. Since we don't really have much time to rewrite this as a how might we statement, we could just understand that from our discussion, we understand that we're trying to create some kind of product for artists or creators to help them increase the value of their work when it comes time to connect with their wallet to, yeah.
Melanie, sorry to interrupt. So I'm just coordinating with Alice. So they will be in the main lobby in next 10 minutes. So
in the next 10 minutes.
Next,
okay,
next
cool.
10 minutes. So I'll start the timer if you don't mind.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
Okay. So in general, we're trying to make a platform for creators and artists to create more value with their work when it comes time for them to connect their wallet. And why they want to do this is because they want to increase their profits in either creating or selling NFTs. Okay. So to create a hypothesis based on this, it usually comes after brainstorming and ideating solutions. So because we're not going to do this part of our exercise, what we're going to do is practice developing a hypothesis as well as testing assumptions, think about testing assumptions as well as determining how we can verify our hypothesis, whether it is actually close to the truth or not. So for the first statement here, for a hypothesis, we have to start off with a very, I guess, base assumption of what we think the user might want from our platform or service. So I'm going to try my best to scrub through this information with you very quickly, but I am going to need some of you to shout out an answer that you feel as though is applicable for this area so that we can quickly fill in the hypothesis so that you have an understanding of how we can build up this statement. So in this section, we're describing the user. So if we're going to write this as a statement, what should we say about this? We believe that blank. So we believe that creators, which is the user that we're talking about, we agree that this is true. This is something that we want to go with. Well, let's just say for now, for the sake of time, yes, creators / artists will want what? What will they want? So they will want perhaps a website or an app. Let's just say a product. They will want a, let's just say, when it comes to connecting with their Ethereum wallet, it's sort of like this could happen anywhere. This could happen on a platform, whether it's mobile or desktop. So can we maybe draw an assumption of where we think that this might be happening and what kind of product we're actually creating? So we're creating a site, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just say a mobile slash
Website. Yes.
or desktop site that will help them. What is it going to help them to do? So we just discussed it earlier. Connecting their wallet, right? So they're, whether they have the currency or not, whether they're understanding this currency or not, they need to be able to connect this wallet, okay? To help them connect their Ethereum wallet. Now, should it be to a particular platform, or should we be a product or a service that helps them to connect to multiple platforms? Well, it is kind of vague. And to be very honest, with brainstorming, this would help us to make a decision. So let's just make the assumption that we're trying to connect their Ethereum wallet to this specific site that we're creating. So connect their Ethereum wallet to our platform because and what is the reasoning behind this? Well, it's a value reason, right? They want to be able to make profits. They want to do this. So I'm trying to think of this to kind of help us to save time. We believe that creators and artists will want a mobile desktop site that will help them to connect their Ethereum wallet to our platform because I guess they want to be able to control or manage their money. But to say they want to control or manage the value of their currency, because there's different types of Bitcoin currency. So let's just go with that assumption.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you, Crystal, for coming in. If you have time, if you could just go down to the link at the bottom of the whiteboard, you could just give us some feedback. And as usual, there's going to be a recording. So if you missed out on anything, you'll be up to speed. Thank you very much. Right. So for the sake of time, I'm so sorry about this, but basically our hypothesis based on the sticky notes that we've kind of summarized is we believe that creators or artists will want a mobile desktop site that will help them to connect their Ethereum wallet to our platform because they want to control or manage the value of their currency. Does that make sense for everyone? Okay. So when it comes to testing this kind of assumption, we might have to think to ourselves, how, like, what are different ways that we could test this assumption? Like, could we list maybe a couple of reasons, maybe not 5, but maybe 1 or 2 reasons why, how we could test this particular hypothesis?
Some user interviews.
How many people are here?
6, 7.
6? Okay. Okay. Does anyone have an answer that they feel? Yeah. It says, Melanie, I think we'll be better with a general wallet and not Ethereum because there's a lot of blockchains. Okay, that's fair enough. My bad. But thank you for that clarification. I think that makes more sense. Okay. So for testing an assumption, let's just say we could use surveys. That's one of the main things that we could do, a qualitative survey to figure out whether we are finding the right kind of user, to kind of screen to see, do the users have similar kind of wants or behaviors, or not necessarily behaviors, but similar types of problems, right? We could test the assumption through empathy maps. Okay, interesting thing about empathy maps is that empathy maps need data. So in order to get an data to create an empathy map, we need to start off with either a survey or perhaps, it looks like CJ is gonna contribute. Yeah. Yeah.
Interview here. I feel like
interview. Interviews, exactly. Yeah. For the sake of time, I'm sorry that things are going a little bit over time.
That's good.
But we're just going to stick with those two for now. It seems very basic and rudimentary, but we can expand on this a little bit more. So when it comes to surveys and interviews, how can we determine if our hypothesis is true or false? Like, what kind of information do we need to arrive at that conclusion? How can we determine whether the experiment that we're using or the testing methodology that we're using is going to reach, going to give us the kind of answers that we're looking for? Or perhaps if the answers are ambiguous, how will we determine that? Okay, so for surveys, I would think that if the majority of your responses tend to trend towards more or less a general consensus on certain things, that's how you could tell. So let's just say if your data is mostly like, let's just say 60% or over, like in favor in a particular answer, right? Whether it's to agree or disagree that the problem exists. And when it comes to surveying different possible problems on the survey, you could list different issues. And if you see a general trend leaning towards one direction, you can get a sense of one issue is going to take, as to say, priority over another. If it's going to be more or less 50-50, that would be a little bit inconclusive. You wouldn't be able to determine whether one issue is more important than the other. You may have to do further testing or even interviews to find out whether the real problem is something else that is not even mentioned in your survey. Sorry about that, but there's another timer for the end of this session of like this particular whiteboard. So CJ, how are we for the break? Like, what is the other breakout group doing right now?
Let me check. They are still there. Let me just check with Alice. Yep, they're asking, should we move out? Should we?
Yeah, they're waiting. Are they? Okay.
Yeah,
so,
they are waiting.
Yeah, I'm very sorry.
I'll just tell them.
Yeah,
no
yeah,
problem.
it's okay. As for the rest of this exercise, apologies that I had to cut it so short, but in general, when it comes to thinking about your research plan, just keep in mind that when you're reading more about utilizing surveys and interviews, to make notes about what it is that you should be looking for when it comes to verifying certain information. Sometimes you're not going to get enough information from your surveys, and sometimes you're not going to get information from interviews, but it helps to be cognizant of that so that you don't fall for any kind of biases. But thank you very much for your compliments. I'm trying my best to move forward.
Yeah.
And sorry
It
you had
was-
to leave,
Mhm.
Jess Cran and also Gonzalo.
Mhm.
Oh, I think Gonzalo's still here. He says, don't worry, amazing session 100. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
So anyway, we're going to go into the next session for a break. Thank you
Yep.
for bearing with me.
No worries. Okay, let's move on the main room.
Project as a group, maybe with a friend or someone that can help you out, then you could submit it together as a team, or you could do it individually. Either way, if you submit the data to us, we can have a look at it, and should it be complete, we can give you 2 free tickets to part 1 and part 2 of our design sprint.
Perfect.
Awesome. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So I guess we'll keep this Miro board for everyone to just access all the links so that people can share the feedback and people can join the design sprint as well. That's great. Perfect. Okay. Do you have anything else?
Yeah, we have a feedback form right here. So if you click on that link and select to give feedback for our IterateUX workshop, you could tell us what you think about the facilitation, about the assets that you were given, and whether or not you have any kind of tips for improvement for between me and Claire. So we're really hopeful that you're going to be very honest. We're here to learn as much as you are. So we hope the feedback will be good. And we really value the time that you've spent with us. We really appreciate it. So thank you.
Hey everyone, on behalf of IterateUX, we would like to thank you so much for watching this week's event. If you like the content, please leave a like and subscribe. We'll have events every Thursday at 5:30 Pacific Time. Join our Discord in the description to find out more.